I hope you're not scared of mathematics. Like you know give fear for maths. I was opportunity to be in the classroom to teach further mathematics and even math itself to students. And I must tell you, it's an interesting subject because it's everything about life actually. You see it playing out in life every day, and you might try so hard to deny it, but you can't. So I think while I was teaching, I just got to understand that the approach towards teaching the students mathematics is what really counts in appreciating and understanding the subject. That is what really matters. And while I was teaching, they would always ask me one very sensitive question. They'll be like, "Why do you always ask us to find x?" And I believe that as an adult, you have also wondered, why do we always look for x in mathematics? What is this x? And can't we finish finding it? The answer is that we can't. That's the truth. If you're able to understand what that S is, you will now know that we can't stop finding it and we can't entirely find it. Now in the English alphabet, the English alphabet is actually what we use in mathematics. X, Y, and Z, especially. But in some core aspect of mathematics, we can introduce ABC. That is when we're not dealing with so many variables. For example, if you're doing graph theory, you now have so many edges and vertices. You discover that XYZ is just three. It won't be enough. You introduce other variables, other alphabets, so to speak. Now, these alphabets are called variables actually. Yes, they are called variables. And what is a variable? A variable is that which can change and take any form. You don't know them, but when they want to change, they can take any form. You don't know them, but they must change. That is just what a variable is. So, how does understanding what a variable is answer that question of why are we always looking for x in mathematics? Now, if you're asked to solve five problems in mathematics and they say find x in all of them, you discover that your first solution for x might be 5, the next one might be 6, another one might be minus 2, and then thereabout. All the answers keep changing. Why do they change? Because that is what variables are. They can take any form. But you're just looking for XO in all the questions. But each answer you find, there are different solutions. That is what variable are. So how can this be seen playing out in life? If you come to business, variables are the risk you take, the money, the investment you are not sure of, but you just put your head. Whatever outcome is what you take. When you're taking risk, you don't know what the outcome is. Now, if you have a restaurant, for example, and then after all your expenses, you cook and sell, you discover that you have an excess profit of 20,000 today, and then you have some meat left in the fridge. Come back the next day, you start operating again, and then around 12 p.m., you discover that you've been able to cough out your expenses for that day, and then an extra 30,000 already by 12 p.m. You discover that by the end of the market day, you'll be having up to 50,000 profit. But that wasn't what happened yesterday. So each day we go out, we meet uncertain realities in life. These uncertain realities are variable. The realities we meet today are not going to be the same that we're going to meet tomorrow. Why? Because those variable changes. Your BP level today is normal, tomorrow is a bit high, next tomorrow is low. Variable. The changes. So as long as we have uncertainties in life that can change, we will always look for X. We will always look for it. But why are we so keen as mathematicians that you must get the proper value of X? Is because that value of X is going to define what decisions you are going to take. So at this point, I can tell you that mathematicians are the most empathetic people because if you solve your problem, solve and solve and solve and get to somewhere and then you didn't get the answer, we are so empathetic to the point where we can appreciate and identify all your efforts, all the answers, all the steps you took. We mark them. But when you get to the result and you don't get them, we fail you because that result is what define every other decisions we are going to take subsequently. We recognize your effort. We know you've tried, you've put resources, you've put in effort, sleepless night to be able to get some steps or show appreciation. But for the answer, we'll still fail you there. That is empathy. That is recognizing that you have tried. So you now see that in life, variables are inevitable. You now see why mathematicians always tell you to find x. So please, x are important. Whenever you're asked to find them, do all you can to get what its actual value is. Until then, let's continue looking for X. I hope this video helped you. If it does, like it and share. I think you're going to see more of mass to life kind of conversations coming in once in a while. Thank you.